Welcome back to the Full Force Fathers podcast. Dave, episode number 88. Almost another decade ticked off. We got a great show in store for you today. Thanksgiving's a couple days away, so we are rocking and rolling towards 2024. What's going on today?
Yeah, man, I'm just starting to prep for Thanksgiving. You nailed it. It's a couple days away. I got to get my turkey brine going. I've got to get my cheesecake done. I got all sorts of things that I'm working on. So I'm seventh heaven right now. Traeger's about to be fired up for a couple days. Yes, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Dave and I, we actually had the discussion about me and Dean and I being out there for Thanksgiving. It's just not going to work out, even though I love to just travel the world. There will be no Brett and Dave Thanksgiving this year, which pisses me off because I literally had to call you on Saturday. This is how dumb I am when it comes to cooking. I had to call Dave on Saturday and say, am I supposed to take the turkey out of the freezer yet? And he's like, dude, every year you call me with the same question.
It's so true. And you know what? You're going to call me around Christmas and ask me about the prime rib.
Oh, dude, it is not my thing. We are doing like a Friendsgiving this year, which has always been our tradition in Arizona since we moved out here because we have no family out here. So it's always been a Friendsgiving. Before Dave moved to Arizona, we did a Friendsgiving. When Dave moved out here, we did it at his house. Then we moved to Virginia. Then he still did it. And it's always my questions. It's just me asking Dave about cooking a turkey or this, that, and the other thing because it's not my thing.
There's 4 things that you can guarantee in this life: death, taxes, the 620 to Austin, and Brett calling and asking about thaw times.
Oh, dude.
Those are the 4.
The thing is, like, the fact that I have to cook the turkey this year fucking makes me so angry because I don't even like turkey. I'm not even a fan unless it's a trade.
Is it you or is it Andine? Is it you or Andine cooking the turkey?
No, it's me. The last 2 years I've done it. The turkey.
I just have this picture in my mind of Clark Griswold carving open the turkey, and it's just going.
No.
Sorry, but that's what I have in my head.
So we've done 2 Thanksgivings. This will be our 3rd in a row without Dave. So 2 Thanksgivings ago. The first one, we did a small turkey because we literally moved to Virginia Thanksgiving week. So we did a small turkey, and it wasn't easy. It was like, I think it was like a 12-pound bird. It was just me and Andy and the girls and my father-in-law. And then last year, we did a bigger one, and I don't know. Turkey's not for me. I did the same exact basting or seasoning on top. I just don't know. Doesn't do it for me. But enough about turkey. If it's not a Traeger turkey from the Fortin residence, I'm just not really that interested, which makes me more mad because I'm just not interested in making a turkey for people that are coming over this year. You know, it's just not my thing. If I had it my way, it would be burgers and dogs on
today.
Yeah, it would be burgers and dogs on the grill for me if I had it my way.
Your mind, burgers and dogs. You are out of your mind.
Yes, so great numbers. With that we have for sure. And this week, for the second week in a row, Dave, you really attacked these numbers head on. So I'm gonna let you start off. But I do have some good I got some good little questions I want to ask you once we get into them.
Perfect. All right. I'm going to start in the NFL. Seems to be where we always start, especially here in the upper numbers. So my favorite 88 of all time, Michael Irvin made the list. Just part of the triplets of an incredible Dallas Cowboy team, 3-time Super Bowl champ, 4-time NFC Championship game player. Ended his career with 750 receptions, over 11,900 yards. He was an all-decade 90s player. He had 47 games of 100 yards or more. And in his rookie season, he led the league in averages per catch at 20.4. So great career for Michael Irvin. Certainly not the best wide receiver of all time, but for those 3 Super Bowl titles, man, he was a big part of them.
Oh my God, dude. What a trio. Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, and Troy Aikman. You couldn't ask for a much better 1, 2, 3 punch.
And you say, well, maybe why aren't his total yards higher? Well, you had the NFL's all-time leading rusher on the team with you at the same time in your career. So that's where a lot of the yards went. But he was a dominating force, man. People really couldn't handle him one-on-one. He was great. And a shit talker, like epic proportions. Yeah. So
he was a shit talker before shit talking was cool. I mean, back in the 90s. I mean,
yeah,
he was He was every bit.
He was part of that.
He was every bit the U. That's what he was. Remember those Miami teams? That's all he did was talk shit.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Moving down the list, how about Marvin Harrison? Okay. Him and Peyton Manning together were just an unbelievable duo. He had 8 straight 1,000-yard, 10 touchdown seasons. 2002, he set a single season record for receptions with 143. He was on the all-decade team in the 2000s, 6-time All-Pro, 8-time All-AFC player. They don't get much better than Marvin Harrison.
And to put it into context, Marvin Harrison, Michael Irvin had 11,900 something yards receiving. Marvin Harrison is 9th all time in receiving yards. He's got 14,580 receiving yards. I mean, that's an absurd number. And not to mention that his kid, who plays at Ohio State, I think, is going to be a freaking unbelievable superstar in the league next year when he's a top 2 or 3 pick in the draft.
Yeah, he's in the Heisman race this year. He's not going to win it, but he's in the Heisman race this year.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But the next guy on this list, I think you have to argue, is the best number 88 of all time.
Yeah, I would say you're right. Tony Gonzalez, tight end, Chiefs, Falcons, over 1,300 receptions, over 15,000 yards, 111 touchdowns. He was all-decade of the 2000s. He led the Chiefs in receiving 8 times, and the Falcons, he led the team in receiving once. He played 270 games in his career, and he missed just 1.
He's unbelievable. 15,127 yards. He's a tight end.
Yeah.
And he also...
Yeah, he's not, you don't...
The best team he ever played for, he never won a Super Bowl with. Don't forget. He played with Matt Ryan, Roddy White, and Julio Jones on the same football team.
Yeah, that's man, what a trio that is! Holy cow! It's he was a hell of a tight end, and I know we got some great ones in the league right now, but Tony Gonzalez was really where it started. Where you're like, wow, a tight end can make a difference in a football game.
He's by far the best tight end, and it's not even close. There's not even anyone that's close second. But I have a trivia question for you about this receiving list thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the only other tight end in receiving yards that's in the top 20 of all time? Receiving yards. Who's the only other tight end?
I don't know.
It's your boy, Mr. Fundamental. Jason Witten is number 20.
Oh, it's Witten? Oh, wow.
Dude.
I was thinking him in the back of my mind, but I was like, there's no way you're going to give me that. You're going to give me that layup. So I'm surprised. All right, Witten. There it is. I mean, he was just Tony Romo's go-to, and it was just across the middle for his entire career. I mean, God, he put up a lot of numbers, and just to think how much higher Tony Gonzalez is on the list, it's wild.
Yeah, but they're sandwiched together, dude. Because so number 20, Jason Witten has over 13,000 yards. And number 6, Tony Gonzalez has just over 15. So that's what, 14 guys squished in between the 2,000 yards. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you could argue that number 88, if you're looking at the all-time receiving list, man, it's pretty close to you could argue it's the greatest wide receiver number of all time if you're looking historically, because you also have Demaryius Thomas, Dez Bryant, Torrey Holt on this list. I mean, you got good. Just in context, okay? Marvin Harrison, 9th all time. Tony Gonzalez, 6th all time. Who else are we talking about? Torrey Holt, 17th all time. I mean, that's Michael Irvin is 20. You actually, believe it or not, how is Michael Irvin 29th? He's 29th all time in receiving yards. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, man. It is great number for receivers and tight ends. But hey, there's a defensive guy that made the list too, Alan Page. He was a league MVP, defensive player of the year. He was an All-Pro 6 times. He recovered 23 fumbles, blocked, get this, 28 kicks. and had 173 sacks in his career.
Insane statistical line for your career.
Some big numbers.
You literally imagine recovering 23 fumbles in your career, 23, blocking 28 kicks.
Oh. Crazy.
Dude, guys go their whole life and they don't even block one kick.
I know. It makes you wonder because a lot of the guys from the past decades, like a while ago, used to block a lot of kicks, and now it's like not really a thing. Maybe it's just because it's faster. I don't know. The kick, like the snap to kick is a lot faster than it used to be. I don't know. But regardless, ridiculous stats. Here, we got NHL next. I'm going to let you take it because you are definitely our resident NHL expert.
Oh, it's the great Patrick Kane. And Patrick Kane is the 3-time Stanley Cup winner. He's he's going to be a freaking Hall of Famer. No doubt about it. He's got over 1,200 career points. But 1,600 points shy of Wayne Gretzky. So that's where he stands in my list.
Great.
Listen,
perfect.
He played with some great Blackhawk teams. Okay, there was that stretch there, where the Blackhawks were really good, and Patrick Kane was a stud for them. They had the great goal. They had great goaltender. I mean, those teams were good. They were all around really good. Patrick Kane was the best player on those teams, so I will give it to him. No, another great. That's once again though, it just tells you how great Wayne Gretzky is versus the rest of hockey history, because these guys are all timers, and they're not even on the same page. They're not even in the same book as Gretzky. He has his own book. So, What else you got?
He really does. All right, NASCAR. Number 88, a strong number in the NASCAR world. The number 88 car all time is 10th on the list, tied for 10th with 76 wins. They also have 402 top fives and 699 top tens. Now, the most successful driver of the 88 car was none other than Dale Jarrett. He had 28 wins. Next, Darrell Waltrip, another big name, 26 wins. But probably the most popular driver of the 88 car was Dale Earnhardt Jr., and he took the checkered flag 9 times in the 88 car. So pretty strong NASCAR number there.
Yeah, Dale Jarrett, Junior is going to get all the accolades, no doubt about it. But Dale Jarrett is by far the greatest to drive the 88 car. No doubt about it. And there's really nothing else to say about it. You know what I mean? Like I said, Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah.
His father's the Intimidator. You could argue he's the greatest NASCAR driver of all time. He's going to get all the accolades for driving the 88. But there's no doubt about it. Dale Jarrett was the most successful. Waltrip not very far behind him, only 2 wins behind him. But Jarrett for sure was the guy in the 80. When you think 88, I don't think Junior. Yeah. I think Dale. I think Dale Jarrett.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I put this next one in here for you. I did some research, and I found a soccer player, football player, however you want to call it. But we've got a soccer player on the list, and the name, Sergio Romero. Now, for those of you who are like me, maybe you don't know soccer that well, I had to do some digging. He's a goalkeeper from Argentina. He was the goalkeeper for the runner-up team at the 2014 FIFA World Cup and a part of the 2008 Olympic gold medal team from Argentina. What else would you like to add?
He was early on in that golden generation of the Messis and that Argentina win. He unfortunately was a little bit too old to have his career prolonged to winning the World Cup, which Argentina did just win this most recent World Cup in 2022, which was sad for him because he was the goalkeeper for Argentina for a long, long time. And with Argentina getting the triumph this past year over France to give Messi the only trophy that he didn't own in his cabinet to cement himself as the greatest footballer of all time. But I have another trivia question for you. I want to know, let's test your soccer prowess, okay?
It's not going to be good, but go for it.
Without looking up the answer, who beat Argentina in that 2014 World Cup final?
Germany.
You are right. It was Germany. And it was one of the most boring football matches I have ever watched in my life. It was literally 0-0 into like extra time. It was awful to watch. But the Germans absolutely shut down Messi, and the Germans got it done in 2014. Which so happened to be my last summer in Connecticut was that World Cup final.
Wow. I'm surprised I got that right.
Well, that's I mean, it is a major
more about soccer than I thought I did.
It's a major sporting event. You should know. It's not like the World Series, which is every year, the NBA Finals, which is every year, the Super Bowl. This is every 4 years, so it kind of like gets stuck in your mind a little bit because it is only every 4 years. You know what I mean? You don't have to remember 20 champions. You only got to remember 5 because it's every 4 years.
That's true.
Right?
That's a good point. Good point.
So
that's number 88. Solid list of numbers. It would have made our top 64 had we gotten to 88 by that point. It would have made the tournament.
Oh, for sure it would have made the tournament. Absolutely would have made it. With all that talent in football, it would have made the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyways, as we started the show, Thanksgiving's a couple days away. Bible verse, then we're jumping into Thanksgiving talk, Dave. And I'm going to, in honor of Thanksgiving, let me just say, don't go drink too much. Don't eat too much. Don't be the slob that eats and then falls asleep on the couch, passed out drunk in the afternoon on Thanksgiving Day, okay? So we're going to Proverbs 23, and it is verses 19 through 21, and it says, "Listen, my son, and be wise, and set your heart on the right path. Do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat. For drunkards and gluttons become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rags." So don't drink too much. Don't eat too much. Enjoy your Thanksgiving with your family and your friends this year. Don't be a drunk, and don't be a fat ass.
I mean, yes, that's everything that we should be doing. I hope people can actually do that because that would be great. And just think, you can save more money if you don't drink too much or eat too much. There you go, win-win.
Yeah, you'll save a bunch of money because alcohol. I can't imagine how expensive it is now, but I'm sure it's very expensive.
Not cheap.
So, what do we got on tap today for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, so listen, I wanted to talk. Thanksgiving's 2 days away. Christmas, though, 5 weeks away. So it's time, if you haven't already, and we've talked about it before, we talk about it periodically throughout the year. You got to budget for these things. They're coming. We talked last week about the credit card debt that's just mounting and mounting and mounting, and we haven't even gotten to the holiday season yet. So I can just imagine what it's going to be afterwards. But if you stick to a budget, if you set a budget and stick to it, you won't be increasing any of that debt that you already have out there. So I thought that'd be a good place to start today.
Quick question. Do you have your Christmas tree up yet?
Yeah. No.
Good.
Do you?
No.
You better not.
No, absolutely not.
It's I have a big beef with everybody skipping Thanksgiving and moving right to Christmas. So it's kind of a sore subject for me, and I will defend that that's the hill I'll die on, sort of thing. I don't understand why people have to celebrate Christmas in, October or early November. It doesn't make sense to me. Once Thanksgiving's over, once the day after Thanksgiving's over, I'm cool. We can move on to Christmas if that's what we want to do, but not a day before the day after Thanksgiving.
For us, see, it's weird because this year, even more so than other years, I've noticed this big push for Christmas. You walk into any store, they literally had Christmas shit up before Halloween was even over. Madison's been big on this. Can we put the tree up? Can we put the tree up? No, we're not putting the tree up. It's November 21st today, but I mean, for the last 3 weeks, she's been asking us since Halloween ended. No, it's not going to happen. When you and I grew up, I didn't get a Christmas tree till like 2 weeks before Christmas, and we cut it down. It was like literally December 10th when we got our tree.
Yeah. My dad's birthday is December 9th, and that was always the rule in our house. No Christmas tree until after his birthday. So, I'm with you. It wasn't a thing until, and you know what, dude? I think it makes the holidays more exciting and more fun when you're not celebrating them for 2 months leading up to it. I think it's crazy. I mean, to each their own, whatever, but I think it's stupid. And if you think I'm stupid, leave a comment Leave a comment for us on the show. I'd love to hear your reasons why you think decorating for Christmas in late summer, early fall is such a great idea. I would love to debate that with you. So please feel
Yeah.
free.
And as you know, my wife is a big crafter. She loves doing crafts and wreaths and decorating all that stuff. And even she's like, Madison, buzz off. Halloween just ended. We're doing fall. It's still Thanksgiving. We're not doing Christmas decorations yet. Madison's like, can we go to the garage and get the Christmas? No, we're not going to get the Christmas totes. It's November 1st.
We were on a walk the other night, and we walked past a house that in the front window had a Christmas tree. On the porch, they had pumpkins and corn stalks. And in the front yard, they had a blow-up Halloween pumpkin thing. I was like, what is happening here? Stop it. This is awful.
It's a hybrid. It's like a Merry Halloween miss giving.
Yeah. Merry Halloween. Sure.
Hey, anyway, so listen.
You forgot Thanksgiving in that, though.
No, it's Merry Halloween misgiving.
There you go. You didn't say the giving part. So, okay, now I'm with you.
Yeah. So talk to me about budgeting for the holidays. Give me pointers. What do you want to talk about? How are we gonna attack this problem that we live in?
Yeah, so there's two things, right? There's two big things that are budget busters. The first is the one that everybody thinks of as presents, right? Presents. We always have the need to feel like we need to bust the budget on presents. Our kids need this, need that, need everything. And then we've got to buy presents for everybody we've ever met, anybody we've ever worked with, anybody who's ever liked or shared a picture or commented on any of our social posts. I don't understand the need to do that. So if you're on a limited budget this year, what do you need to focus on? Focus on your family. Sure, I understand that kids love to get presents at Christmas, and that's important, and we should focus on the kids at Christmas. That is wonderful, but they don't need everything at Christmas. Find the 1-2 things that maybe they want the most and go after that. Budget for it, and don't break the budget on it. You've got to focus on it. Tell your friends and your family, you know what, we're not doing it this year. That's okay. It's all right to say no to doing stuff like that. But make sure you tell them early so they don't buy you a present and expect something in return. Now, if you tell them and they say, you know what, we still want to get your family something, that's fine. But set the expectation now that you're not doing it for everybody else. And I think that's okay. Do you agree with that, or do you guys buy presents for all the people you know?
No, I agree with that. We don't buy presents for anybody. My kids are lucky to get presents because we never grew up in a big Christmas household, Andine or I. So, we usually got one gift, like one big gift, like whether it was a gun or a snowboard or a set of skis or whatever it was, but we always got a gift, right? Like a PlayStation or something, like that. So that's how we grew up. So and Andine was the same way. So that's kind of how we are with our kids. And it's really, really hard in this day and age because so many parents just go ballistic for the holidays and buy this and this and this and this and that and this and everything on their son. So to the point where their living room is full of fucking debt on the floor because most people are swiping on credit cards because they're getting 0% on the Black Friday or they're signing up for the card for their 20% off reward and all that crap. So my kids probably think they don't have a good Christmas, but they do. And when it comes to buying presents for other people, we don't absolutely, like my nephews, my sister's kids, we get them a gift card. That's it. We don't go shop. I'm like, my parents don't get presents, like cousin, none of that crap.
Yeah. Most of the time too, when people spend so much on Christmas and they get so many different things, the kids forget about the gifts that they got 2 days later. There's so many things. The excitement from all that new stuff wears off, and they have 1 or 2 things that they actually really wanted for Christmas, and all the other stuff is just kind of like, eh. And if they play with it 2-3 times throughout the year, maybe they're lucky. And I think that just goes to show, like, we don't need to do that. It doesn't have to be the sole focus of the holiday. The holiday is supposed to be about spending time together as a family, being thankful. It's. And that's one of the reasons I like Thanksgiving more, because the pressure's not there for it. It is just the time to spend together as family, be thankful. There's no pressure of gifts and I have these expectations of doing things a certain way. And I do think that in our current society now with social media the way it is, we're trying to make the perfect holiday, right? And so we can post a picture online and have people think that we live the perfect life. I don't know who it is we're trying to compete with. I mean, maybe it's your friends, maybe it's your family, maybe it's a social influencer that you follow that you're trying to make this perfect idea of Christmas come to life. And in my mind, somebody who doesn't use social media, the perfect idea for me, the perfect Christmas is just being together with the family, hanging out, playing with some of the kids' toys, talking, playing games, whatever it may be. And I think that's ultimately what's most important. And a lot of that doesn't cost a dime to make happen.
My favorite part of Christmas, you mentioned the social media thing. If anything, it just puts a spotlight and it I don't know, it accelerates the whole keeping up with the Joneses thing. It's absolutely pathetic. It's ridiculous. But like you said, the thing that I love most about the holidays is I love being able to wake up in the morning and knowing there's just no agenda that day. Like that is my favorite part of a holiday, of a Thanksgiving. Really not so much Thanksgiving because you got to get going, but even then, you and I used to get together at like 6 a.m. on Thanksgiving. We'd get a running, and then we would just be bullshitting back and forth, walking back and forth to each other's houses and doing shit. Like those are the things that I love most about the holidays because there's no clock, there's no timestamp, there's no agenda. You can wake up in the morning. You can, if it's Christmas, the kids open presents, you hang out, you have a cup of coffee, you have no pressure to go do anything. And the same thing on Thanksgiving, it's that those things are so much more important to me than what the hell's under the tree. And unfortunately for most people, that's just not what it is. That's literally not what it is at all.
Yeah. We talked about presents being a huge budget buster, but another one that I think flies under the radar for those people that host is meals. Mm-hmm. Because I'll tell you what, cooking a holiday meal can be really, really expensive. The meat, the protein that you're cooking usually is the most expensive by a lot, but the side dishes add up in a hurry. Nothing's cheap anymore. And all that stuff can really end up busting the budget if you wait till the week of to buy it with all your other food for the week. You still got to buy groceries for the other 6 days of the week. So, if you wait till that same week, you're gonna go over budget, and there's just no way around it if you're hosting. So, what I do, what I've told people to do in the past, and what we continue to do, is we start buying stuff as we lead up to the holidays. Start buying some of those things early. The things that you can when you see them on sale, go get them, pick them up, fill your pantry with stuff that you can that's non-perishable. It's not going to go bad, and that I think is a way that people can also space it out over the budget, so that when that week comes of Christmas, you don't get absolutely hammered spending $200 on just your Christmas dinner, and then you still have to buy groceries for the entire week too.
Yeah, no, we just talked about this because Madison was like, why were you buying things at the grocery store 2 weeks ago for Thanksgiving? And because A, it's on sale, and B, it's a lot easier to budget an extra $25 in the grocery bill over the course of 2 months than it is to do it $250 or $300, like you said, the day of or the week of. It just makes it easier. There's absolutely and with, like you said, with the cost of the protein, the inflation, the cost of meat, it's literally becoming unaffordable to eat meat anymore, which is, side note, that's what they want. They don't want it to be affordable because they don't want you to eat meat anymore. But it really is astronomical. But like we did, like last week, we were at the grocery store. We bought cream cheese because Andine's making a pumpkin cheesecake tomorrow for Thanksgiving. Like you knocked all these little things out that all of a sudden you already have the stuff. And luckily for us, we have a second freezer and fridge in the garage. So we always buy things when they're on sale and take advantage of that. And that's just a good old fashioned budget conscious tip in general. If you have the access to an extra freezer and extra fridge, buy things when they're on sale because you can keep them and it makes it a whole lot easier on the wallet.
Yeah, it really does. So use the time now. It's a little late for Thanksgiving to be doing that. But use that tip for Christmas. Start picking up some stuff now and getting yourself ready to go for the holiday if you're hosting and you need to spend a lot of money on a meal. Next thing to do is inexpensive things at the holidays. Things that don't cost a lot of money that you can go and do as a family that aren't going to bust your budget, right? There's a whole list of things that you can do that won't cost any money and that are quite honestly a lot of fun. So I know there's a few things on here, Brett, that we've done together. There's a few things that we do with our families individually. The first, man, is going around and checking out Christmas lights. Like in Arizona, a lot of houses were decorated for Christmas. when we moved here last year, there was a lot of houses decorated for Christmas here too. The nice thing in Arizona was you could either drive around a neighborhood, or you could just go drive somewhere and then walk the neighborhoods because it was so nice out. And just walk around, you get some exercise, and you go look at Christmas lights. And you could there were a couple neighborhoods, man, where every house was decorated for Christmas, and it was just so much fun to just kind of go and take it all in and see what everybody had done. So that's a good cheap one.
And the kids love Christmas lights. Like, they love Christmas lights.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, we're already into it. Like, the kids, when we go around, they're already super excited to see it. I, on the other hand, like I talked about at the beginning, it's a little early, but the kids love it. They just want to see lights. They think it's so cool. And when you got the animated things that are doing stuff, like, it's so much fun for them. So, like, let them see it, experience it. Like, they don't care. They love being with you, and they love seeing Christmas lights. So that's a no-brainer. The next one's my personal favorite, which is watching holiday movies. ABC does the 28 Days of Christmas, right? Hallmark does their thing. Make your own, December holiday movies, whatever it is. You've got the go-tos, right? Either you got Christmas Vacation, Elf, The Home Alone, Santa Clauses, Miracle on 34th Street. Like, there's so many great Christmas movies. You can space those out however you want over the course of the weeks leading up to Christmas. You probably own some of them. Let's be honest. If you don't, most of the streaming services have a variety of the movies on there. So see what they have, write them on the calendar, and make it a thing. Make some popcorn and hang out, watch movies together as a family. Again, doesn't cost much at all.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for Christmas movies. We love Christmas movies in this house. Now, like you mentioned, all the main ones. The rotation, the stable of every year movies is the same. And then my wife and Madison, they love Hallmark Christmas movies and all those movies that, and listen, I will absolutely sit and watch them. I just love Christmas movies. I think Christmas movies, and you know me, I am not a movie person in general. I don't watch movies. I don't ever go to the movies. You can never catch me dead in a movie theater. But watching movies at home with the kids is something that's really, really cool. No doubt about it.
Yep, for sure. Now, your wife, my wife, they're both very crafty. How about just making some ornaments? You can make ornaments at home for the kids. You can put them on your tree, or maybe you got a little tree for your kids in their room, and you just make some ornaments. Make some gifts for family members, so you don't have to spend a lot of money on gifts for family members. Send them to the grandparents, send them to the aunts, the uncles, whoever it may be. Little homemade things like that is a great way to do something fun, teach kids how to be crafty, and then also maybe give a present when you're on a tight budget.
Yep, we make them every year, and there's no room on the tree for them every year. So, there's that problem.
Yeah, it's its own problem. This is one of my favorites. I love doing this. Casey had kept all of her Christmas stories from when she was a kid. Her parents used to buy her a Christmas book every year, and we have a ton of Christmas stories. So every night we'll settle in with the kids and we'll read Christmas stories. Now we're at the point where the kids can read the stories to us, which is cool. It's been like a cool little transition of that. But like we have a huge bin of just Christmas stories, and every night they go in and pick one or two Christmas stories, and we sit down and we read those together. And that's always a lot of fun too. And if you've got the books on hand, doesn't really cost anything again.
Yeah. Now, do you have any Christmas tradition? So we have one Christmas tradition that we do every year, and we get the girls. We mentioned making ornaments, but every year we always get the girls a ornament. Like whether Andine throughout the year she'll see a Christmas ornament at a shop. Do you have any little traditions like that?
No, we don't have any of that. I do an ornament with my dad, actually. That's the only Christmas ornament tradition we have. He's got a collection of the classic GM cars. There's like 28 or 29 in the series. And he's got every single one of them, which is pretty cool. And there was a couple that he was missing a few years ago that I went out and bought on eBay and found for him so that he could like complete the collection. So that's the only real one. We don't have anything with the kids. We never found something that kind of started when they were born. That was kind of the goal, like what like new thing came out and then went forward, but we never found anything, so we never did it.
Yeah, we do the ornaments. We get each girl an ornament every year, and then some of the cheesy ones. The Elf on the Shelf, and then Elf on the Shelf every year. The first night the Elf on the Shelf comes back, She brings the girls matching pajamas. That's the other one that we started when we adopted that Elf on a Shelf nonsense years ago.
Oh yeah. Elf on the Shelf comes to our house. I thought you meant things that we did, but the elf definitely comes to the house and does his thing.
Yeah. That stupid thing goes in all the dumbest places.
I know. I wake up every morning. I'm like, wow, that elf's got some real creativity there. Sometimes they cause a lot of trouble, but hey, that's cool. Kids love it, so that's fun. Back to the list of stuff. How about going to your local tree lighting in your town? Tree lighting, they usually have Santa. Go visit Santa. Go see the tree lighting. Meet some people. I should take my own advice. Like that would be something really cool to do. Really get like into the holiday spirit with your town.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, see, that's one thing. Our Oro Valley is just growing so big. It's like it gets to the point now, like you see a lot of people, but man, it's kind of getting dumb when because there's so many people now.
Yeah, that makes it tough, but it's still worth going. Again, kids love it, man. You usually get a huge Christmas tree when you go to a lighting like that. So, and who doesn't want to see Santa? So, I think that's a lot of fun, and it's a free thing to do. Here's one that'll make you feel good, and you'll do a lot of good by doing it. Go volunteer at a local food pantry. Go volunteer anywhere, somewhere. Pick up Angels on a Christmas Tree and go shopping for kids that don't have presents for Christmas. Find something that you could do with your generosity this year. There's a lot of opportunity to just give your time, maybe give your experience, your knowledge, to help make somebody else's Christmas better. And I think that would be probably the best thing we can all do this holiday season.
Yeah, no, that's great. Give more than you take all the time. Whenever the opportunity arises, always give more than you can take.
Yeah, and what a great thing to do with your kids too, to teach them the importance of giving and to make that a part of what their holiday season is about, so they understand, what Christmas should be. It is the season of giving and giving back, and finding those opportunities are really important in their development. A couple more on the list. First is decorating the house, man. Everybody right after Thanksgiving or right after Halloween, whatever it may be, wants to just run out and just decorate the whole house. Done. Like poof, like an elf when they come in the next day and the entire store is done up for Christmas because Santa Claus is coming. You don't need to do that. Maybe space it out over a couple weeks. Do the lights on the house, do the inside stuff, do the tree, put the lights on the tree, and then do the ornaments. Like, space it out, man. Make it fun. Listen to Christmas music while you're doing it. Like, we don't have to do it and turn it in overnight. Make it a thing. Make it something fun where the kids can participate, be a part of it, and take up some time around the holidays. And again, doesn't cost anything. These are the things that you can do to take up time, keep you in the holiday spirit, and don't take from your wallet.
Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt about it.
You've got a fun Christmas thing that you guys do with your blow-ups. He's doing that again this year?
Yeah, we're in a predicament with that this year, though, because every year we get a new blow-up, which, by the way, we go to Walmart. They used to be like $8.88 and then $9.88 and then $10.88. Now they're like $16.88 for the small ones. Shocker. But every year we get the kids a new blow-up. We have done that for years. So since we moved to Arizona in 2015, every year the kids have picked a new blow-up, and we put it out in the front yard. Well, Elixir had a good front yard with that because we didn't have a lot of cactus in the front yard. Virginia had a great front yard for that because it was grass. Where we are now, not good. We really are. We were trying to actually, Andy and I were just talking about this last week. Like, where the hell are we going to put the blow-ups this year? Because our yard now is full of of cholla and prickly pear. Like, we don't have a great place to do it now. So we're like, man, where the hell are we going to put them? So now we're like thinking maybe we'll just put them in the pool area. We'll put one. We'll go around the entire pool. But the whole point of Christmas lights is so people could see them, right? If we put them in the pool area, then nobody sees them except for us because they're in the pool area behind the house. So we literally have not decided on what we're going to do. Obviously, we're going to do lights across the front of the house like we always do. You don't have a resident tree climber. Have you befriended anyone that will climb a tree for you in Tennessee?
No, I have not. I'm on my own, and this is scaring me. So it might just be the trunk that's getting done this year.
Yeah. I am the resident monkey tree climber for Dave. I used to always climb his front tree and navigate the thorns to hang his Christmas lights for him.
Yeah, and I do appreciate that you having done that. So if you're looking for somebody to hang your Christmas lights, give Brett a call. He'll be happy to help.
Dude,
Um,
for sure.
and the the last thing on the list, man, and this isn't necessarily cheap, um, but it's a lot of fun, and maybe just do it once. But bake some cookies, man. Christmas cookies, what a fun thing to do. The kids love to do that as well. Have them decorate the cookies, bust out the sprinkles, have a great time. Baking cookies, man. Who doesn't like cookies?
Favorite Christmas cookie? Go.
Jam thumbprint.
What's that?
It's a little cookie that you put your thumb in, and then you put a little bit of like jelly or jam in the top.
Oh, I'm gonna have to ask Andine about those this year. No, I don't think she's ever made those.
Oh.
No doubt about it.
How about you? What's your favorite?
Peanut butter cookie with Hershey Kiss, not even close. When Andine makes those, she makes like fucking 150 of them at a time.
They're good, but not my favorite. But yeah, they're good.
Well, that's why I asked you what you. That's why I asked you what your favorite was.
Yeah, well, that's true. One last tidbit before we say goodbye to this episode. Shop the day after the holidays. So, like the day after Christmas, go out and buy all the shit you need for Christmas next year. Buy the wrapping paper, buy the tissue paper, buy the boxes, buy the bows, whatever it is you need, buy the lights, whatever's left. Go buy that stuff the day after Christmas. You're going to get it all for an incredibly steep discount.
Yep.
And then next year, you're set to go. You don't have to worry about it. And you start doing that in a rhythm every year, and you're going to be amazed how much less money you have to spend at the holidays. So that's what I got for savings tips at the holidays.
Insane how much money you save when you buy it the day after or the second day after Christmas. It's unbelievable. I mean, we did that.
Wow.
We did that after Halloween. Remember I told you that? Target had like stuff 50, 60% off. We went and bought like $200 worth of snacks for like $45 at Target. Literally, we'll have snacks till Christmas in the snack cabinet, from all the Goldfish, the graham crackers, the freaking, you name it. Everything was marked down just because it has the little Halloween insignia on the front. I mean, it's amazing stuff.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So anyways, so that is our episode. So last week I said, read, think, and grow rich. And I brought up to Dave this week, I said, whenever we find a book we recommend, we don't, all we ever tell people is to go read it, right? We never actually read anything out of it that we may have gotten out of it. So there was in chapter 2 of this book, there's a story that I want to read. I hope you all go and get the book, but Think and Grow Rich. And it talks about desire, the word desire. If you just have like an unbeatable desire, you become obsessed with whatever goal you're looking to achieve, right? As full force fathers, we need to be excelling in everything. Like, success is our duty as fathers, especially as full force fathers, with our money, with our faith, with our exercise, with our physical abilities. We have to be all in. And he talks about a story.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a paragraph, and I'm going to read it. And it says, a long while ago, a great warrior faced a situation which made it necessary for him to make a decision which ensured his success on the battlefield. He was about to send his armies against a powerful foe whose men outnumbered his own. He loaded his soldiers into boats, sailed to the enemy's country, unloaded soldiers and equipment, then gave the order to burn the ships that had carried them. Addressing his men before the first battle, he said, "You see the boats going up in smoke? That means we cannot leave these shores alive unless we win. We now have no choice. We win or we perish." They won. And it just, every person who wins in any undertaking must be willing to burn the ships and cut all sources of retreat. Only by doing so can one be sure of maintaining the state of mind known as a burning desire to win, which is essential for success. It's in chapter 2. When I read that, I was like, I got to tell people about this paragraph, because no matter what you're going after, whether it's a job, it's your physical appearance, it's your rekindling the relationship with your wife, loving your kids more, making more money. This book is about making money. Think and Grow Rich is about wealth building, right? It's about Napoleon Hill. was with Carnegie and all those guys in Edison.
Yeah.
But that one story has nothing to do with any of those guys, and it can be interpreted in so many different ways. If you have a desire to win at whatever it is, if you put forth the effort, you burn all the bridges and the boats behind you, and you just go all in on that desire to win, you will win. You absolutely will win at whatever you're looking to win at.
Yeah, it's so true. What an incredible paragraph, and it sums everything up. If you want something, you got to go after it with everything you have, and if you do that, you will eventually win. It won't come overnight. It's not going to happen. It takes time to build that, build, but you got to stay after it. You got to stay on your game all the time. You got to be full force with it.
Yep, that's so. So I want to do that moving forward. These books that we recommend, if there's a paragraph or a chapter, I mean, we're not going to read a whole chapter, but like little tidbits and stuff in books that really just strike a chord, and maybe more than just say, hey, like, endure. Cam Hanes is the fucking man. Go read his book. Like, pick something out of it that really touches you or really can relate to what we're doing here at Full Force Fathers.
Sure.
But anyways, that's episode 88, Dave. I want to wish you, from my family, a very happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the day with your family. Spend time with your loved ones. Eat good food. Don't overindulge. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Get out there, continue to live the full force life. Don't bust that holiday budget. And we look forward to seeing you next week.